Before we start getting into Regmarks 4, let's first review what it does. It allows you to manage your registrations quickly and easily, sharing data between other dealers with ease, being a source of data for your website or for you directly when you deal with telephone-based inquiries, and generally helping you to run your business. Firstly, a few naming conventions. A source is the location of a registration number. Sources can be dealers or your own direct commissions. When you create a source, you identify whether it is a dealer or a commission. Once you've saved the record, you cannot change a dealer into a commission or a commission into a dealer. A dealer is basically someone who provides you with lots of registration numbers to sell, and that you potentially send your list of numbers to them. A commission would basically be the man in the street asking you to sell his number for him. He may have a few numbers, but he doesn't run it as a business and is only dealing with a few numbers. Markups. These are your profit margins. When you import numbers, you add on a profit margin automatically. You can either have a flat fee per dealer, or you can have markups based on price. For example, if it's under £5,000, you might put £100 on it. If it's between £5,000 and £20,000, you might put 5% on it. Tags. These are used primarily to indicate that this registration can be useful for a name or a job, etc. A classic example would be the names Bob, Bobby, Robbie, Rob, Robert. If a registration has 3 letters of Bob or Rob, you can assign those 5 names against it, or if it has the numbers 808. So if someone says their name is Robert, you can do a tag search and pick up Robbie and see all of the Bob and Rob and 808 related numbers together. You might also tag 911 and 914 as Porsche numbers and 205 as Peugeot, for example. Categories. This helps you give structure to the tags. A tag can be associated with a category. The category might be men's names, cars, women's names, football, etc. So the example I just mentioned could all be associated with men's names, and you can have a section on your website for men's names and show all of the tags associated with that registration. Categories don't have to just relate to tags though. You can have categories based on the structure of a registration, such as 3x3, where you select 3 alpha and 3 numeric, and also 3 numeric and 3 alpha, so you can have a section on your site for 3x3s, or if someone rings up and asks for a 3x3 with TC as the first 2 of the 3 letters, you can identify both formats in one search. You can also have Irish numbers identified, or you could say 1x1 and a 2x2 are in a premium category. Regmarks is told which source is your dealer, so it can handle your numbers differently to other dealers. When numbers go against your own dealer, they are king of the road. It doesn't matter whether someone lists your stock number for £1, it won't overwrite your details. Likewise with your commissions. Next in the tree are other dealers' stock numbers. If you can identify a stock number from another source, it won't be overwritten by someone else's commission, even if it's cheaper. The free-for-all, so to speak, happens with other people's commissions. If you import a registration ABC123 from dealer A for £10,000 and you then import it from dealer B for £9,500, then your best source will change from A to B. We still keep a note of A having it for 10,000, but B is a better source. Then if you import dealer C stock and they have it as a stock number, then you found the Holy Grail and it changes to dealer C stock, you can't get it cheaper than that. The system tracks the best sources of registrations, and if last week dealer C sent his stock over to you and it had 500 numbers and now it has 495 and they had 3 new numbers on the books, so that means that 8 got removed, the system will automatically identify those missing 8 and flag them as sold if you tell it to do that. This is obviously optional, because if they sent you a small list and say these are 20 extra numbers that will be going on our list but you can have them early, then in that case you don't want to remove the other 480. In a nutshell, that describes most of what Regmarks is and does, but it also handles exports to other dealers to keep them up to date automatically with your changes, and if you can't find an option for a customer, you can add it as a want on the system, and each day the system checks what they wanted and compares it to what you've now got. If we've already told them about a number, it won't notify again. Regmarks also has and will have other bolt-on additional modules. There is also a website management system where you can create new content pages, have website searches, interrogate your live data, handle online orders and inquiries. Now we'll show you the system and how it works.